Had if the person who bullied you mercilessly in high school suddenly showed up as a billionaire at your reunion? And what if she wanted to apologize, right in front of everyone? Imagine walking into that room, feeling like the same broke, awkward kid from 20 years ago, only to discover your worst tormentor is now worth billions. Keep watching, because this story is about to flip everything you expect. The moment Scott Henderson walked into his high school reunion, he felt every bit the outsider he'd been 20 years ago. His navy blazer, the only decent one he owned, was slightly frayed at the cuffs, but he'd ironed it carefully that morning while his daughter Emma practiced her spelling words at the kitchen table. The gold-trimmed name tag stuck to his chest felt like a sign announcing his failures to the whole room. Scott Henderson, still not good enough. "Daddy, you look so nervous," Emma said, squeezing his hand. At 11 years old, she saw everything, way more than any kid should have to, especially after her mom walked out when she was only 5. "I'm fine, sweetheart," Scott replied, forcing a smile. "Just haven't seen these people in a long time." He'd almost skipped the whole thing, but Emma found the invitation and begged him to go. "You never do anything fun, Dad." Between teaching English at the local high school and driving rideshare on weekends, fun wasn't exactly on the schedule. Tonight, their neighbor Mrs. Patel was watching Emma so Scott could have one rare night out. The gym looked different. Twinkling lights, navy blue streamers, their old school colors. A huge banner screamed, "Westridge High School, Class of 2003. Scott scanned the room, faces he hadn't seen in decades, most looking way more successful than he felt. "Scott Henderson, is that really you?" A heavy guy with a beard slapped his shoulder, Frank Donovan, his old lab partner. "Good to see you, man. You haven't changed a bit," Frank said, eyes scanning Scott's cheap suit with obvious pity. "What are you up to these days?" "Teaching English at Riverside High," Scott answered. "And raising my daughter Emma." He pointed to the girl beside him. "Nice, nice." Frank nodded, clearly unimpressed. "I'm in real estate. Killing it. Just bought a place in Tahoe." He went on and on while Scott smiled politely, feeling smaller by the second. Emma tugged his sleeve. "Can I get some punch, Dad?" Thank God for the escape. At the refreshment table, Scott heard it, that laugh. The one that still made his stomach drop. Bridget Nielsen. He didn't even need to turn around. That laugh had tortured him for 4 straight years. When he finally looked, there she was, blonde hair now in an elegant bob, wearing a black dress that probably cost more than his car. Surrounded by the same crowd that followed her everywhere back then. Some things never change. "Who's that lady, Dad?" Emma asked. "Someone I knew in school," Scott said quietly. "We weren't friends." Then the DJ grabbed the mic. "Time to honor our most successful graduate, founder and CEO of Nielsen Tech, recently valued at over $4 billion, Bridget Nielsen." The room exploded in applause. Scott just stared, frozen. The girl who made his life hell, the one who stole his clothes in gym, spread rumors, called him second-hand Scott, she was a billionaire now. And here he was, barely scraping by. Bridget took the stage, smiling like always. "Thank you so much. It's crazy being back here where it all started. High school shaped me, not all of it good. But I'm grateful." Her eyes landed on Scott for just a second. He felt that old knot in his stomach again. "She seems nice," Emma whispered. Scott didn't answer. For the rest of the night, he avoided her. But Bridget kept looking over. Then Emma needed the bathroom. Scott told her where to go. "I'm 11, Dad, not 5. He laughed, turned back to his soda, and suddenly, there she was. "Hello, Scott." Bridget Nielsen, standing right in front of him. "May I sit?" He nodded, stiff. "You're a teacher now. That's wonderful. English? What do you want, Bridget?" She flinched. "I just wanted to say hello." 20 years, Scott said. "Not long enough to forget how you made my life hell." Her face changed. "Scott, I'm so sorry. I was horrible to you. To a lot of people. Especially you." "Why me?" "Because you saw through me. You were never impressed by my act. And that scared me. Before he could answer, Frank stumbled over, drunk. Bridge! Group photo with the old squad. Then he looked at Scott and smirked. Henderson's still hiding in corners, huh? Some things never change. Scott felt the old burn in his cheeks. But Bridget stood up fast. Actually, Frank, I'm talking to Scott. And I'd appreciate if you didn't speak to him like that. Frank laughed. Come on, remember secondhand Scott? Bridget's eyes flashed. I remember being a cruel, insecure teenager who bullied people to feel better. I'm not proud of it. And I'm not laughing about it now. Frank walked away, muttering. Scott looked at her, stunned. You didn't have to do that. I wasn't defending you, she said quietly. I was defending myself from who I used to be. She looked him in the eyes. I'm truly sorry, Scott. You didn't deserve any of it. He searched her face, no cameras, no audience, just her. And for the first time, he believed she meant it. Then she asked the question that changed everything. Can we get coffee sometime? I'd really like to know the real you. He should have said no. But something made him say. Sunday. 2 p.m. Emma grinned the whole way home. You have a date with the billionaire lady. It's not a date, Emma. Uh-huh. That's why your ears are red. Sunday came. Scott changed shirts 3 times. Bridget was already at the coffee shop, 2 coffees waiting. She remembered exactly how he took it, black, 2 sugars. From the reunion, from high school. She even remembered his peanut butter sandwiches. They talked for 3 hours. About her company, about his daughter, about the guilt she carried, about the bills he hid from Emma. And for the first time in years Scott laughed, really laughed. 1 coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into museum trips, park walks, movie nights. Emma adored her. Bridget adored Emma. 6 months later they were a family. Living in a beautiful house Bridget bought, but insisted was theirs. And one Sunday morning, while Scott made pancakes, Bridget walked in wearing his old t-shirt, holding a little velvet box. Scott Henderson, she said, voice shaking. 20 years ago I was the worst person to you. 6 months ago you gave me a chance to be better. You and Emma are my whole world. She got down on one knee. Will you marry me? Emma screamed. Yes. Before he could even speak. Scott looked at the woman who once broke him, now the one who healed everything. Yes, he said, tears in his eyes. 1,000 times yes. Sometimes the person who hurt you the most becomes the one who loves you the hardest. And that is the best revenge of all.